Hey, it can't possibly be time for creepy cheapies again already, can it? Well, maybe it is. The spirits tell me it's apparently time to do a creepy cheapies once again, where we discuss the best in monster masks and, explore the fine art of monster masks. Today's creepy cheapie is a 2022 product. By the way, that's the year it came out, not the price which it sells for. You can't buy one for $20.22. Are we clear on that? I think you can buy one for around $65, $70, which is pretty good when you consider how scary and how good and how overall impressive is this guy, Stench. That's right, he's called Stench. And that's not because his parents were Mr. and Mrs. George and Irma T. Stench. No, that's because he smells really bad. Okay, and well, he says he thinks he smells badly because he had COVID and it affected his sense of smell. No, that's smelling badly. See, that's a little different. Although people did say when they had COVID, I know a lot of people did lose their sense of smell. Or no, wait, I remember, it was when your nose fell off. That was it. It was when his nose fell off. Anyway, Mr. Stench here is a very nasty, rotted corpse, beautifully sculpted and detailed. Look at the nice paint, and I didn't do anything to this. This is straight out of the package. Look at how they added these enhancements like wet and sticky and moist stuff where he's sort of melting and decomposing, and that's probably where some of the stench comes from, you know. But now you might think that any rotted corpse would smell extremely bad, especially if you've ever had, a mouse or a squirrel or a burglar get caught in your walls or in your attic or something and die in there, and you're smelling it for a while and it's just awful, and you know how unpleasant that is. You would think all zombies would smell like that, like roadkill or something, but an extensive study conducted by a team of experts consisting of me concluded that many zombies, despite their rotting and decomposing condition, don't emit any smell at all. Now you might wonder how that's possible. I suspect it has to do with the specific nature of the agent that was responsible for their reanimation, like whether it was a certain toxic chemical or voodoo or magic or whatever it was that brought them back to life. Some zombies don't smell, and I would guess that that is part of the zombie's natural defense mechanisms, because see, if he smells like a deer carcass that's been out on the side of the road for a few days, you're going to smell him coming from 40 feet away. Yet, I see many motion pictures and television productions over the years in which zombies sneak up on people and come right up behind them, or just sidle on up next to them, or come right at them, and the people don't even notice. And if that zombie was full of stench, you'd know he was coming in plenty of time to shoot, whack, chop, bludgeon, defenestrate, incinerate, or otherwise harm the zombie. So I think that's a natural defense mechanism that some zombies have, is that they're able to avoid the smell of dead meat like you would normally expect. Now, other zombies think it's perfectly okay to smell bad. Some of them like it. Some of them think it's funny to smell bad. Some of them enjoy it. Some of them think of it as part of their scariness. And, I had a talk with some zombies about that, and I said, that's not part of being scary. Smelling bad isn't scary, it's just smelling bad. Scaring people and having a creepy, spooky, shocking, suspenseful sort of effect, well, that's not the same as just something that just plain stinks. That's, most things in the world stink, I think, and most people kind of, humans who are still alive smell terrible for the most part. But so he thinks he's getting a bad rap here. No, that's the mummy that got the bad rap. You get it? Mummy rap. Sorry. Anyway, Stench here feels that it's sort of a backup plan that, if he smells bad enough, maybe if he's not scary enough in his presentation when he comes to scare you, maybe he will at least gross you out on some level, and you'll kind of feel like that's the same thing as being scared, and you'll remember it as being scared. And well, he thinks of it as a backup plan, by which I mean it'll make your last meal come back up. Now, I don't know if that makes sense to you as a theory, as far as, you know, grossing people out being as good as scaring them, but an awful lot of movies, and a lot of awful movies, settle for it, right? Watch the audience after like one of those Blair Witch, 23,000 ripoffs of Blair Witch that came along, where people have the wobble cam and the handheld and they shot it with a phone or something. You watch the audience after that and they all look like, oh, blah, blah, because they're all disoriented and they have motion sickness basically, but they sometimes confuse that with being scared, and they think, oh, that was so scary, I was so traumatized, and yeah, actually you were kind of made sick because you were trying to follow the image all over the place. And that's a cheap shot, Mr. Stench. I don't think you should do that. Although if you smell bad and you can't help it, well, you know, if you can't help it, you can't help it, and some zombies just can't help it. Now, in the movie Land of the Dead, the characters actually called them stenches as a sort of slang. Here come some stenches, when they were fighting zombies. But that was kind of odd, because elsewhere in the same movie you see people interacting very close with zombies because they use zombies for entertainment. The humans used zombies for entertainment at some points in that movie, and did not seem to be reacting to the smell as much as you'd think. Actually, most monsters would probably smell bad, really. But don't worry if you buy the mask. It's not like you're bringing stench into your home when you bring stench into your home. The mask just smells like any other mask. And by the way, if you are in fact watching this and you're a zombie who smells bad and doesn't want to, if you are tired of stinking, and if you are tired of coming into a room and the living people in there say things like, "Good Lord, who left a triple-decker fried bologna sandwich with extra cheese on the roof of a slum in New Jersey for the hottest 3 weeks of the year and then brought it into the room?" Well, then you need my new product, Toomey. Yes, Toomey, the only deodorant made especially for the living dead. Toomey will remove those terrible smells. And well, whether we're talking underarms or underground, whether we're talking your private parts or your private showing, Toomey is the deodorant for zombies. The only deodorant that stops unpleasant odors by targeting odor-causing bacteria and eating its brains. Try some Toomey today, and if you smell like a dead deer that's been out on the highway for a few days, well, soon Toomey will have you smelling as fresh as a funeral wreath. Another fine product from Horror Hotel Laboratories. Say, he draws flies too.